The Bold and the Beautiful scoop for Friday, December 12th. Reveals Bill Spencer will surprise Katie Logan. Also coming up, Hope Logan and Liam Spencer's wedding reception will get underway. But will any uninvited guests show up? B&B spoilers tease Hope and Liam are now husband and wife. They've put their family with Beth Spencer back together and are over the moon. So, along with their family and friends, they'll be more than ready to celebrate. No doubt, viewers will see many tears of joy at the couple's reception and lots of toasts. Deke Sharp and Will Spencer will wish Hope and Liam years of happiness. Hope's father, Deacon Sharp, will also make a toast to his daughter and her husband. However, will the reception go off without a hitch? Sheila Carter got her nose out of joint when Deacon told her she was not on the guest list for the wedding. On Thursday's B&B, she told Taylor she was going to crash the event. Of course, it wouldn't be the first time. Back in August 2021, she showed up at Steffi Forrester and John Finnegan's wedding reception, although she was there to reveal herself to Finn as his mother. In the case of Hope and Liam's nuptials, she would crash it to assert her rightful spot as a member of Deacon's family. But will history repeat itself, and Sheila will crash yet another wedding reception? Finally, as things wind down at the reception, Katie will be stunned when Bill gets down on one knee. He'll pull out a ring box and ask the woman he loves to make him the happiest man on the planet. But will Katie say yes and agree to marry Bill? Hey B&B fans, are you enjoying the latest CBS Sudser Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading the Soap Scoop, your source for the latest soap opera spoilers and B&B spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our B&B Facebook group. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Bold and the Beautiful online at cbs.com. On The Bold and the Beautiful, it's here we go again with Liam and Hope. A beautiful wedding. But it leaves us wondering if this time isn't more of the same for us at home. Let's be honest. If you are a longtime viewer of The Bold and the Beautiful, watching Hope Logan and Liam Spencer exchange vows for the fourth time evokes a sense of déjà vu that is stronger than the smell of espresso at Il Giardino. Today, as the reception kicks off at the Spencer estate, we are supposed to believe that this time is different. We are supposed to believe that the Lope destiny has finally solidified into a permanent reality. But are we looking at a happily ever after, or just another stopgap before the next inevitable implosion? The writers have certainly pulled out all the emotional stops to convince us. Having their daughter Beth officiate the ceremony was a masterstroke of sentimental storytelling, designed to make us forget the chaotic road that led here. It distracts us from the uncomfortable truth. This reunion was largely precipitated by a health scare, Liam's brain tumor that wasn't, rather than a natural organic growth of their relationship. Trauma bonding is powerful, but it is rarely a foundation for a marriage that lasts decades. We have to examine the forever partner question with a critical eye. Liam Spencer is the waffler-in-chief. His default setting is to bounce between Hope and Steffi Forrester whenever things get difficult. Just months ago, he was questioning everything. Now, he is the doting groom? It feels less like personal growth and more like a lack of options. With Steffi currently occupied with Finn and the brewing war at Forrester Creations, Liam has nowhere else to run. That isn't love. That's convenience. And let's not let Hope off the hook. Her recent detour with Thomas Forrester proved that she craves passion and undivided attention, two things Liam has historically struggled to give her without keeping one eye on the Cliff House. Hope returned to Liam because he is safe. He is the comfortable sweater she puts on when the weather gets cold. But comfortable sweaters eventually get unraveled. Then there is the Sheila Carter factor. The decision to ban Sheila from the wedding was logical but dangerous. By forcing Deacon to choose between his daughter and his wife, Hope and Liam have essentially invited chaos to their doorstep. Sheila does not handle rejection well. She handles it with firearms and fake deaths. This external pressure will test the newlyweds immediately. So, is this the real thing? For now, yes. They are safe, they are parents, and they are united against a common enemy in Sheila. But are they forever partners? History says no. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, a wedding ring is rarely a symbol of eternity. It's usually just a bookmark for the next chapter of drama. Enjoy the cake, Liam and Hope, but maybe keep the annulment papers in the top drawer. You know, just in case. Taylor rejected Sheila's olive branch, which could lead to deadly consequences. Sheila's spiraling on the bold and the beautiful, and she could use a friend. She hoped that person would be Taylor, who helped patch up her marriage to Deacon. But Taylor rejected Sheila's friendship and set strict boundaries, which could push Sheila to the dark side. Sheila was angry after Deacon informed her that she couldn't be his +1 at Hope and Liam's wedding. She showed up at Taylor's office, asking for advice. Taylor tried to get Sheila to leave, but it didn't work. Sheila begged her not to ignore her amid her downward spiral. Then, she ranted about not being invited to Hope and Liam's wedding because of her dark past. Taylor could tell that Sheila was upset. Sheila admitted that being excluded from her husband's family events hurts her feelings. She claimed that she had changed and wished that other people would see that as well. She wants to be a wife that Deacon is proud of. She's worked so hard to prove herself. Then, the feeling of being shunned makes her feel excluded. Taylor quietly listened as Sheila went on about not being on Deacon's arm at the wedding. She wondered if his family would ever accept her. Taylor told Sheila she shouldn't be surprised by the snub. Sheila argued that she saved Steffi's life, but she's still treated like the enemy. Taylor warned Sheila not to crash the wedding party. Then, Sheila wondered if Taylor thought she was crazy. That's when Taylor had to set some ground rules with Sheila. Not only did she reject her friendship, but she also told her not to show up unannounced anymore. But that's where Taylor is wrong. Sheila clearly needed someone who could give her the guidance and support. Deacon should have been that person, but he already failed her by not considering her needs. Sheila could end up seeing Taylor as the enemy. She'll end up wondering why Deacon can show up to her office whenever he wants, but she can't. She'll go back to sneaking around and watching the two closely. This could send Sheila on a dark path. And this time, she could end up hurting Taylor again, especially once she sees her growing close to her husband. On the Thursday, December 11th, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor put distance between herself and Sheila. Ridge poured his heart out to Eric, and Hope and Liam finally got married. Beth asked if her parents were ready to finally become husband and wife. Both were thrilled to finally reunite their family in the eyes of the law. She understood that it wasn't typical for a small child to oversee the wedding, but with parents like Hope and Liam, things were bound to be unorthodox. Deacon spoke before the bride and groom took their vows, and Beth insisted that her grandfather keep things brief. He adhered to her instruction and wished the happy couple a lifetime of happiness. Deke spoke next and said he'd never seen his sister happier. Donna read a piece from George Eliot about two souls joining for life. It was a beautiful sentiment that meant a lot to two people who fought so hard to find their way back to one another. Katie preached about the day being more than just the union of Hope and Liam. Instead, it was the joining of their families once again, and she reminded Liam to love and cherish Hope. Bill spoke about how his son was the one person he admired most in the world, and he welcomed Hope back to the family. Brooke was the last family member to speak, and she expressed pride in the woman that Hope had become. She was thrilled that her daughter was bringing her entire family back together. The vows between Hope and Liam were next, and emotions ran quite high. Liam ended his by saying, "You are the woman who gave me Beth, and I am so grateful to you every day." Beth praised him and asked Hope to speak from the heart to Daddy. Hope referred to Liam as the strongest man she knew. His strength lay in his compassion. They'd been through so much over the past several years, but now she could look in his eyes, and after a few life lessons, they were back together. Beth eventually pronounced them husband and wife, and after years apart, her Hope and Liam were finally officially married again. Sheila wished she were included in the wedding like everyone else in the family. The wedding was meant to serve as a message to Deacon's children that they were a united front. She asked Taylor whether she understood how painful it was to be relegated to the family's outskirts. Taylor urged Sheila to take a step back and calm down, saying, "Crashing that wedding would be a crazy thing to do." Sheila slammed an ornament off the bookshelf, and she asked if crazy was the good doctor's professional opinion. Taylor assured Sheila that she wasn't calling her crazy. She commended Sheila for talking things through with her, rather than acting irrationally and storming into the wedding. Taylor asked Sheila to be the best version of herself if she was going to maintain her relationship with Deacon. Sheila agreed. She believed she found true love with Deacon. Sheila again thanked Taylor for being the biggest driving force who brought her marriage back to life. Taylor requested that Sheila never barge into her office unannounced again. She needed the space to be a sanctuary for her patients. The way Sheila walked in with no warning could not happen again. Sheila understood, and she again thanked Taylor for everything she did to put their marriage back together. She spoke on behalf of herself and Deacon, and she told Taylor not to let her down. Steffi understood why Brooke didn't insist Ridge attend the wedding. He was certain a fight would break out between him and Bill. However, regardless of their tension, he wasn't in a celebratory mood because of his fractured relationship with Eric. He was convinced that he did right by his father by surprising him with the retirement. Eric's reaction, though, changed everything. Ridge received word that Eric was in the building, so Steffi asked him how he planned to handle it. Ridge remarked that Eric looked great on a runway. He didn't know his son would be there, and he asked why he hadn't gone to the wedding. Ridge flipped the script on him and asked the same question. Eric needed to return to Forrester. Eric questioned whether Ridge was upset by his father being present in the building. He asked how Eric was doing, but it was too soon to give a positive update. Ridge tried to reach Eric to explain how much he meant to him. There was nobody on the planet that he respected more than him. In life and in business, Eric provided him with the tools for everything that he knew. He told Eric, "I'd be nothing without you." Ridge promised Eric that the retirement party was never meant to be disrespectful. He was simply worried that the daily grind would take too large a toll on Eric's health. Steffi dropped by her mother's office, and she was elated to see a much friendlier face. She explained that Sheila was there right before her, and vented about not being invited to the wedding. Steffi believed her mother-in-law was delusional, and she revealed that Ridge skipped the wedding as well. Taylor was on Ridge's side, and she didn't think there was anything malicious in his helping Eric took a step back. Viewers are speaking out about Ridge forcing his father to retire early, and they think it could kill him. Eric Forrester was forced into retirement on The Bold and the Beautiful. Understandably, he hasn't been handling the news well. Meanwhile, viewers faced the worst-case scenario for the popular patriarch. Ridge and Brooke threw Eric a retirement party without his knowledge. He never spoke to them about retiring. In fact, he was eager to return to work and wanted to show his latest designs. However, Eric had no choice in the matter. His son advised him to stay home because he feared that his health could take a turn for the worse. Eric felt that he still had more inspiration and passion to share with the world. But Ridge didn't want to see his father working those long hours. He eventually encouraged him to retire. Eric somberly turned out the lights on his long-running legacy. Fans detected a power grab behind Eric's retirement. Some B&B viewers are predicting the worst-case scenario for Eric's retirement, and it's not looking good. They fear that his early retirement could send him to an early grave. This theory surfaced on a soap opera message board. The original poster wrote, "Hey Ridge, maybe not working will kill Eric. I am not entirely convinced that all Ridge cares about is Eric's health. You know, some people have to work. Not working could kill Eric." This bold declaration sparked a heated debate on the thread. One fan responded, "Given that Eric hasn't actually worked in 2 years, I don't think that will happen. During that time, he rested up from his health issues until he was ready to work full-time again." But Eric was still sketching at home. Ridge told his father to hang it up, and Eric reluctantly agreed. He doesn't even want anyone to see his designs. This heartbreaking news could kill him. Someone else argued, "He said he has to design. He has to have a pencil in his hand." Eric was ready to work with the design team, but Ridge stopped. Ridge is having regrets about his decision. Some viewers also debated whether Ridge should have pushed his father out of the company in the first place. Eric's the owner and founder of the company. Also, he still has shares, which means he should be calling the shots, not his son. One person noted, "Well, if Eric allows Ridge to push him out, then by golly, he might as well stay out. Come on, He's a grown man and the company founder. He can tell Ridge, "No, I am not retiring. I changed my mind." Yet there are still some fans who fear the worst for the fashion legend. Someone else wrote, "I am sure it will kill him, and I am sick of hearing them call that a retirement party, because a party is something you celebrate and have a good time." What are your thoughts? Do you think Eric's forced retirement is terrible for his health? Sound off below in the comments section. Liam assured Deacon that he wouldn't let Hope go like he did back in 2023, when she eventually ended up with Thomas. Liam promised on The Bold and the Beautiful that he would not let Hope slip through his fingers ever again. He waved goodbye to his waffling ways by committing to the love of his life. The turning point for Hope and Liam's marriage was her growing desire for Thomas. She fantasized about him every time she was with Liam. The two kissed in Rome, leading Liam to kiss Steffi, even though she's happily married to Finn. The two agreed to never share their secret with anyone. Hope always felt that Liam loved Steffi more than her. She was tired of his waffling ways and undivided heart. Hope realized what it's like to be loved by a man who's committed to only her. Meanwhile, Liam was tired of Thomas' constant efforts to destroy their marriage in one way or another. He agreed to a divorce, despite Hope's pleas to reconcile. Hope and Liam are getting married for the third time on the December 11th episode. Deacon wanted to talk to Liam before the wedding. Liam assured him that he would never let Hope slip through his fingers again. He promised to love and cherish her for the rest of his days. Liam and Hope were reunited after his health scare. He thought he was dying from brain cancer, but it turned out to be a long con. That's when Liam and Hope realized they still had lingering feelings for one another. Up to this point, Hope was in a serious relationship with Carter. Her relationship with Thomas didn't work despite the passion they shared. She couldn't fully commit to Thomas because of his past. He caused Hope and Liam a lot of pain, especially when it came to their daughter Beth. While Hope accepted Carter's proposal, she still dragged her feet on the wedding planning. She didn't want to rush down the aisle. Hope realized that Carter wasn't the one for her. The two will exchange vows on Thursday's episode. Will they finally get their happy ending? Since Steffi is happy with Finn, she's no longer a factor in their relationship. However, that doesn't mean their marriage won't be without its share of drama. B&B teased Atkinson's return, and Thomas's surprise comeback could throw the couple off course and force them to face their difficult past. Sheila's explosive visit to Taylor might prove that she's not done with her attempts to ruin Hope and Liam's special day. On The Bold and the Beautiful, December 11th, 2025, Sheila dropped by Taylor's office after finding out she was snubbed from Hope and Liam's wedding. She spiraled upon learning the news and needed a friend. But Taylor refused to give her what she wanted. Sheila's downward spiral could impact the couple's joy. Sheila hates being rejected. She got snubbed from Hope's and Liam's wedding. Beth made the guest list and insisted that Sheila gave her bad vibes. She's aware that Sheila is Deacon's wife, but she still didn't want her there. Sheila didn't take the news well. It sent her reeling at Taylor's office. Sheila hoped that Taylor would want to become friends with her. However, Taylor rejected Sheila on her offer. Taylor warned Sheila not to crash the wedding. This could undo the progress she's made, especially with her marriage to Deacon. Taylor also set sound, tough ground rules with Sheila. She asked her not to show up unannounced and disrupt one of her therapy sessions. Beth has been a busy little girl. She planned the wedding, the menu, and the guest list. Also, she officiated the wedding and had to prepare for her big moment. But prior to that, Bill and Katie wanted to make Hope and Liam's day even more special. They asked their loved ones to give heartfelt speeches, helping set the tone. Hope and Liam exchanged vows. They're officially husband and wife. Or are they? They let their daughter marry them, so it might not be legal yet. They might have to make it official at the courthouse. The wedding went off without a hitch. However, there was still a reception to get to. As for Sheila, she didn't inform Taylor that she would be returning home. She didn't get much out of their conversation. She hoped that they would have bonded. But Taylor refused to be friendly with Sheila. Sheila might not be done spiraling just yet. She could find a way to ruin the happy occasion by crashing the reception as she did before with Finn and Steffi's wedding.